You're watching Mashindo's hometown station, HTV1.
Hello everybody, Brett Boyd from the Market House. Don't miss our new expanded summer hours from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. And don't miss two fantastic deals on ground chuck at just $3.99 a pound or Dutch Farms butter at just $2.99. Just two great deals and two more reasons to come see us at the Market House. Open 8 to 8, 7 days a week. We'll see you there.
Tired of having everyone know you're coming before you arrive because of your exhaust? If so, then it's time to call the experts at RS Custom Exhaust in Hillsdale. RS Custom Exhaust has all the tools and parts to make your vehicle quiet again. And for you sports car enthusiasts, if you're looking for the roar to be the king of the roads, RS Custom Exhaust can help you too. With free estimates and first-class service, RS Custom Exhaust has your vehicle covered. So stop and see them today, located at 1461 Vera Drive in Hillsdale.
From Mashindo's news leader, this is HTV1 News at noon.
A handful of new coronavirus cases were reported across the area over the weekend, but still just a mere trickle compared to the outset of the pandemic. Well, good afternoon, Mashindo. I'm Scott Pienta. Well, for the most part, the number reflect the flattening curve, and Michigan is now reporting probable cases on a per-county basis, much like Ohio has been doing for several weeks. Well, let's start as usual, Branch County, where there are two new cases to report, bringing them to a total of 136 cases confirmed and 2 deaths. Now, there are also 13 probable cases in Branch County and no deaths in that category. The Tri-County Health Department says that there are 172 cases in Hillsdale County, but the state reports 171. We're not sure where that discrepancy is, but they're both reported 24 deaths. Now, they're in 9 probable cases and no deaths in that category for Hillsdale County. Lenawee County reports 158 confirmed cases, 120 recoveries, and 5 deaths, plus 33 probable cases. All of them are now recovering. The entire state of Michigan reports 58,870 confirmed cases, 5,656 confirmed case deaths, 5,543 probable cases, 239 probable case deaths, and a total of 42,041 recoveries. Now, Steuben County is now up to 93 cases and 2 deaths. Indiana as a whole reports 397 cases, 2,121 deaths. And our Ohio counties from still a bit behind from over the weekend. Williams County was just last updated Friday afternoon, but their local count matches up with the state at 42 confirmed cases, 15 probable, and 1 death. Fulton County was last updated Saturday at 44 confirmed cases, 1 probable case, and no deaths. But the state count says that there are a total of 46 in Fulton County, and it's unclear if the additional case is confirmed or a probable. The state of Ohio reports 38,476 cases and 2,377 deaths. Well, some good news from the village of Delta. Some recreation facilities there will be reopening this week. A post on the village's Facebook page says the playgrounds and the skate park and the basketball courts will all be reopening on Wednesday. Shelter facilities will also be reopened with capacity restrictions. The village council says that they hope everyone enjoys the remainder of the summer while being safe and considerate of others. Now, they also ask you to send them pictures of activities or events in the park so that they can share them on their social media. The village also addressed the question of where the pool funding will be going since the pool has been closed this year. Well, the pool is funded by a $1.25 million levy that generates roughly $55,000. Which must go to accounts specifically intended for the pool. Now, the village administrator says they're looking into several possibilities for maintenance projects while the pool is closed, including the restroom shower areas in the bathhouse and an enclosure to protect the filtration system. The money could also be used for grant matching funds to build a splash pad, which would replace the current infant pool. Now, the village decided to keep the pool closed for a remainder of the year due to the state-mandated pandemic requirements that officials say that are unable to fulfill. On the other hand, the city of Adrian will be reopening Bowen Pool. The Telegram says City Administrator Nathan Bird made that announcement to the City Commission on Thursday. Well, that's thanks to a recent executive order. Pools in Michigan can reopen today at 50% capacity. Now, Adrian hadn't announced the closure of the pool for the season, but Bird says they weren't very optimistic about it a week ago. Now, with the Governor Gretchen Whitmer giving the go-ahead, the city is making plans for the facility. The YMCA may be involved for lifeguard staffing, and Bird says that they need about 2 weeks for maintenance before the pool can open. Concessions won't be open, but swimmers will be allowed to bring their own snacks in this time. No exact date has been set, but Bowen Pool is expected to open by the end of this month. The city of Coldwater is moving some events around, but they will still take place. According to WTVB, the Entertainment Under the Stars concert series will now happen on Tuesday evenings in August at Heritage Park, beginning at 7 p.m. Now, there are two factors in play there. The location has moved from the Four Corners Park back in January due to complaints about traffic noise and lack of space, and the pandemic caused the dates to change. Now, the Four Corners won't go empty, though. Thursdays in August will be the night for Hops and Moreau from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. Now, food trucks, beverage service, and food from Broadway Grill, entertainment, and outdoor games will all be enjoyed. That was meant to take place in July, but it has also been moved due to the pandemic. Well, the city of Adrian is joining the list of communities making it easier for local restaurants to seat people outside as they reopen. Telegram says the city commission approved the waiver of some permit fees at their meeting on Thursday. Sidewalk cafe permit renewal fees will be waived this year, and any business that wants to operate sidewalk cafes in Adrian will be allowed to do so without a permit. Social distancing will be mandatory under the state's requirements, and the city administrator Nathan Bird says that that will generally be left up to the business owners, though the city will step in if they see something is in clear violation. The commission also waived the fees for events that are taking place in public parking lots, but those events still have to be approved by the city through the normal process. Now, the city is working with Downtown Development Authority to formulate best practices, and Bird says that they're also working on expedited process for businesses outside of the downtown area who want to operate outdoors as well. And the Lenawee County Road Commission is planning to dip into their general fund due to the loss of state money during this pandemic. Now, the Telegram reports that road commission funding from the Michigan Transportation Fund was down about $100,000 in May compared to last year, putting it about $200,000 under budget. Well, Director Scott Marlette says that he expects the June and July MTF checks to see more pronounced drops and the loss for the budget that year that could be around $1 million. Well, MTF revenues are expected to increase now that people are driving again and the licensing fees are coming in, but the gas tax money cannot be made up for. The Michigan Road Commission has already abandoned the plan to hire a county engineer and made cuts to their equipment expenses, but Marlott says that it's still not enough to close the gap. Well, the commission will likely have to make adjustments to the plan of projects later this year. Marlott added that with the political tension between Governor Whitmer and the Michigan legislature setting up another prolonged battle budget, well, it could still be a while before anyone knows how road work will be affected in 2021. Well, a Branch area food pantry has been given over $16,000 by a recently formed C-19 Relief Task Force, a private organization made up of Coldwater and Coldwater Township Rotary Clubs. WTBB says each club contributed $5,000 and more than $6,000 that was added by Kess Jewelry, now who worked out with other local small businesses to raise funds from private donors and customers. Well, the task force has been meeting with local community support agencies and their organizations to coordinate their efforts as the pandemic recovery takes hold. If you'd like to get involved, well, you can contact the task force leader, Brad Rocky, at 517-617-8460. And the state of Michigan has halted some 340,000 in unemployment accounts due to concerns about possibly fraudulent claims. though the Associated Press says that many of those accounts belonging to legitimate claimants who deserve the money. The account holders have been sent instructions to verify their identity, and Department of Labor and Economic Opportunity Director Jeff Donofrio says that they're having to do so because that's such a significant amount of fraud occurring in new claims. Now, this comes as Michigan State Police said that they, as well as the local and county law enforcement agencies, have been receiving calls about that fraud. WTVB reports that many businesses have apparently been getting unemployment claims for employees who are not seeking unemployment benefits. Police report is not necessary for the type of claim, but the MSP is advising businesses to be aware of what's going on. Employees themselves can report the fraud through the Employment Insurance Agency's website at michigan.gov/UIA. And another poll of likely voters has given Michigan Governor Whitmer high marks for her handling of the coronavirus pandemic, mirroring previous polls conducted by the Gallagher Group and Fox News. WOOD says that the recent Epic MRA poll surveyed 600 people between May 30th and June 3rd. 55% of those respondents approved of Whitmer's overall job performance, while 43% disapproved. 60% approved of her response to the COVID-19 crisis. By contrast, 58% disapproved of Trump's response to the crisis, with only 41% approving. Whitmer was the most popular among 5 political figures in the survey, with a favorability rating of 57%. Democratic presidential candidate Joe Biden was also on the list, as he was President Trump, Democratic Senator Gary Peters, and Republican Senate candidate John Jamins. Now, 45% gave Peters a favorable rating, but a notable 22% didn't even recognize his name. Trump received a 56% unfavorable rating. Voters were about 50-50 on whether or not Michigan is headed in the right direction, but 61% rated the economy poorly, and 63% said that the economy overall is on the wrong track. Excuse me. The 63% said that the country overall is on the wrong track. Now, 51% said that they would vote for Peters over James in their Senate race, but 13% remain undecided. Now, only 38% of those polled said that they would vote for Trump, and 53% said that they would vote for Biden over Trump. Well, still ahead at noon, more local protests took place over the weekend. Most were peaceful, but there were one minor incident we'll tell you about right after this. Plus, a woman and her son are recovering after a terrifying lawnmower accident. And you don't usually think a Florida man story is happening here in the Meshendo area? Well, we've got one, and he's being hailed as a hero. We'll be right back after this.
There's a reason that professionals shop at Jonesville Lumber. They expect quality, service, and knowledge. And that's exactly what they receive. For nearly 100 years, Jonesville Lumber has been family owned. We take pride in serving our area with great products at competitive prices. We have dedicated project estimators in-house that will help figure the materials needed to complete your next task at hand. Whether you're building your dream home, adding a pole barn, building a deck, updating your kitchen, or painting your front door, let Jonesville Lumber help you with your next project.
Authentic Mexican food is just a short drive away at El Cerrito in Coldwater and Hillsdale. The variety-packed menu has something for everyone, with classic Mexican dishes, El Cerrito specialties, and tasty treats for dessert. Don't forget the best margaritas in town with margarita specials Friday and Saturday. And carry-out ordering is great for work lunches or picking up dinner for the family. Make your next meal a fiesta for your taste buds at El Cerrito on Chicago Street in downtown Coldwater and Carlton Road in Hillsdale.
The Saucy Dogs is the name and barbecue is the game. Come on down for a good time and some great food. At Saucy Dogs, try our barbecue nachos or our tasty ribs. We'll have you howling for more. Saucy Dogs, downtown Jonesville.
Does your vehicle sound like a tractor putting down the road? Then you need to see the experts at RS Custom Exhaust in Hillsdale. They will give you a free estimate along with first-class customer service. They custom make any exhaust needed for your vehicle. Stop and see them today, located at 1461 Vera Drive in Hillsdale.
Hello everybody, Brett Boyd from the Market House. Don't miss our new expanded summer hours from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. and don't miss 2 fantastic deals on ground chuck at just $3.99 a pound, or Dutch Farms butter at just $2.99. Just two great deals and two more reasons to come see us at the Market House. Open 8 to 8, 7 days a week. We'll see you there.
Well, several protests were held across the area over the weekend as part of the nationwide calls for police reform and racial unity. While we were on the scene Friday at Four Corners Park in downtown Coldwater, demonstrators gathered around the intersection of US 12 and Monroe Streets. The Rally for Unity included music, speeches by community leaders, and participation by local law enforcement and government officials, who echoed the calls for rebuilding trust with the community. The Daily Reporter says a few passing trucks and motorcycles tried to drown out the event with noise, and a small group with a Confederate flag sat on the northeast corner, but there were no confrontations. Many of the vehicles passing by honked their horns in support of the event. Well, also on Friday, about 24 people gathered in downtown Bryan for a demonstration. Now, the Times says it was a last-minute event that put together by Gage Vermillion, who said he hadn't spoken out much in the past, but he's learned about issues like mass incarceration, the war on drugs, the war on crime, and how it's all affected the black community. And that's led him to show his support. Now, Vermillion says he was blown away by how many people came out on such a short notice. Many people honked as they passed to show their support there as well. But it wasn't all peaceful at one Sunday protest in Adrian. Video was sent to us. It was sent to WLEN showing protesters surrounding a truck that was attempting to drive through their group. Details are somewhat limited at this time, but those who claim to have been there say that they was from a splinter group from a larger protest. The larger group had followed a set route approved by the city, but this group apparently took a different route. Now, it's unclear exactly how the confrontation began, but there is some claiming that the driver of the truck got into a confront the crowd and push some protesters before the skirmish that you see here. Now, we cannot verify the information, and the video captured the incident is not clear enough to show exactly what happened. Questions remain about where the Adrian police were at the time, though there are unverified claims that police vehicle had left the area to attend the larger protest. No word yet on any criminal complaints being filed by either group or the driver. Well, in Angola, Mayor Richard Hickman, we're going to have to take a short break. When we come back, I will get my teleprompter fixed. We'll be right back.
There's a reason that professionals shop at Jonesville Lumber. They expect quality, service, and knowledge. And that's exactly what they receive. For nearly 100 years, Jonesville Lumber has been family-owned. We take pride in serving our area with great products at competitive prices. We have dedicated project estimators in-house that will help figure the materials needed to complete your next task at hand. Whether you're building your dream home, adding a pole barn, building a deck, updating your kitchen, or painting your front door, let Jonesville Lumber help you with your next project.
Authentic Mexican food is just a short drive away at El Cerrito in Coldwater and Hillsdale. The variety packed menu has something for everyone, with classic Mexican dishes, El Cerrito specialties, and tasty treats for dessert. Don't forget the best margaritas in town with margarita specials Friday and Saturday. And carry-out ordering is great for work lunches or picking up dinner for the family. Make your next meal a fiesta for your taste buds at El Cerrito on Chicago Street in downtown Coldwater and Carlton Road in Hillsdale.
But Angola Mayor Richard Hickman has announced that there will be a community conversation on racism tonight on Facebook. 4 panelists of diverse backgrounds will be discussing how our country has arrived at the current situation with regard to human rights. Well, they'll begin with the discussing among themselves for the first hour, then following up with submitted questions for another 30 minutes. Well, Hickman says it will not be political, nor will it be anti-police, but he says everyone should be able to walk and drive up and down the street without feeling as if they have to look over their shoulder just because of who they are. And that goes for small towns just as much as it does for big cities. The mayor adds that the different opinions will be welcome, but there will be no room for hate. Well, 2 boys whose disappearance sparked concern across 3 states are safe with their mother today. Ace and Cruz Schaefer were reported missing on May 29th, last seen in Bryan, and a silver alert was issued on Friday in Indiana because officials believed that they were in danger while in the custody of their father, James Schaefer. But WPTA says that they were found later that day in DeKalb County campground based on a tip about a vehicle matching the one described in the alert. According to the Bryan Times, the Michigan State Police believe that it was a custody issue and no arrest was made at the time. However, the DeKalb County authorities are now charging Judge James Schaefer with 2 counts of interference with custody. A Branch County woman and her 3-year-old son were seriously injured in a lawnmower accident last week. WTVB's and the Daily Reporter say it happened around 2 o'clock Friday afternoon in Sherwood Township. A man was backing up his lawn tractor when it struck his grandson. The boy's mother grabbed him away before he completely went underneath the mower, but his legs and buttocks had already been injured, and the woman lost some fingers on one hand. Both victims were stabilized on the scene before being airlifted to Parkview Regional Hospital, and they're expected to recover. The Branch County Sheriff's Office is still investigating that incident. An Angola man was injured in a single vehicle car crash over near Orland yesterday. Authorities say 29-year-old Nicholas Bruner was headed eastbound on the State Road 120 when he failed to negotiate a curve at the intersection of County Road 550 North. Bruner's vehicle left the roadway before crossing 550 and hitting a tree on the other side. He was airlifted to Parkview with injuries to his head and chest. Steuben County Sheriff's Office says Bruner was wearing a seatbelt and the airbags in his vehicle did deploy as they should have. Alcohol is not believed to be a factor, but other toxicology results are pending, and the cat crash remains under investigation. Well, this was a scene in East Adams Road in Kinderhook Township as a pole barn burned to the ground over the weekend. WTVB and the Daily Reporter said it happened just before noon on Saturday. Fire crews from Lakeland, Bronson, and Orland all responded to the fire just north of the state line, but they weren't able to save the structure. Now, they cleared the scene around 3:15 that afternoon. Well, the smoke plume could be seen for miles, with reports coming in from Lake James and motorists on I-69. No injuries were reported, and the cause of the fire is still unknown. Well, 2 men have been arrested, and authorities believe that they found a significant amount of fentanyl after conducting a raid on a Montpelier home. The Montpelier police said they executed a search warrant at 625 South Monroe Street, where they found numerous pieces of paraphernalia and various types of drugs, including the fentanyl. Bryan Times says 50-year-old Heath Carneys of Montpelier was booked at the CCNO on a felony drug possession charge. 32-year-old Craig Schauer of Bryan was arrested on the misdemeanor charges and released. The case is being referred to the Williams County Prosecutor's Office to review for any further potential charges. Well, we promised you a Florida man story, and this one is actually positive, though it could have been a lot worse. WLKI says this Florida man, going by the name of Bobo, rescued this woman from her burning car in Fremont on Saturday. The woman's seatbelt would not release, so Bobo loosened it and pulled her to safety just a moment before the vehicle fire turned into a massive blaze. The locals are hailing the man as a hero for this selfless act. Well, still ahead on HTV1 News at noon, one local township is opening tonight's meeting to the public for the first time since the pandemic started. And Mishenda's biggest city might allow people to keep chickens in their backyard. Now, those stories right after this.
El Cerrito's variety-packed menu has something for everyone. With generous servings and lots of flavor, you'll think of it as a fiesta for your taste buds. Dine in or carry out at El Cerrito on Chicago Street in downtown Coldwater and Carlton Road in Hillsdale.
There's a reason that professionals shop at Jonesville Lumber. They expect quality, service, and knowledge. And that's exactly what they receive. For nearly 100 years, Jonesville Lumber has been family-owned. We take pride in serving our area with great products at competitive prices. We have dedicated project estimators in-house that will help figure the materials needed to complete your next task at hand. Whether you're building your dream home, adding a pole barn, building a deck, updating your kitchen, or painting your front door, let Jonesville Lumber help you with your next project. The Saucy Dogs is the name, and barbecue is the game. Come on down for a good time and some great food. At Saucy Dogs, try our barbecue nachos or our tasty ribs. We'll have you howling for more. Saucy Dogs, downtown Jonesville.
Well, tonight will be the first meeting of the Clinton Township Board of Trustees to be open to the public in person since the coronavirus pandemic began. Telegram says only 5 people will be allowed to attend with social distancing in place and masks required inside Township Hall at all times. Now, if you can't attend in person, you can still call in at 517-456-6701. And you can email your matters, if you want, addressed to supervisor@twpofclinton.com. Well, that meeting takes place tonight at 7 p.m. Clinton Township Hall has been closed to the public since March 23rd. Well, could the city of Adrian go to the birds? Well, one group hopes so. The Telegram says several residents want the city to let them raise chickens in the town. Well, Brandon Morley and Chris Williams started a Facebook group called I Support Backyard Chickens within Adrian city limits. Kind of a long title, but that's what it is. Now, Williams says he used to live in the county and he misses being able to have fresh eggs to feed his family every morning. Plus, he adds that chickens keep some pests at bay, calling them, quote, tick-eating machines. Morley says he started considering the possibility when grocery stores started putting limits on certain items during the pandemic, including eggs. Now, the duo says that they're not looking to keep the chickens as pets or asking to be able to butcher them in their backyards. They just want to raise hens for eggs. Now, they propose allowing residents to keep the birds in a backyard coop, not free-ranging them, and they want a limit of those 3 to 6 birds per household. Roosters and their loud crowing would be banned. Williams says he wouldn't do that to his neighbors. Well, Mayor Angie Heath says that she and her husband have also considered the possibility, and it's a topic that's been raised to her before, but she doesn't think anyone was interested until she saw the Facebook group. Commissioner Alan Helt says that he's been asked about the possibility before as well. Well, the Adrian City Commission will discuss the topic at their June 15th pre-meeting session. Well, those are today's top stories. We'll see you right back here tomorrow, HTV1 News at noon. Don't forget, you can find more of our news and our live streams 24/7 at htv1.net. For all of us here at HTV1, I'm Scott Pienta. Enjoy the rest of your beautiful day outside. It's going to be a warm one, but enjoy it. Have a great day, everyone.
Tired of having everyone know you're coming before you arrive because of your exhaust? If so, then it's time to call the experts at RS Custom Exhaust in Hillsdale. RS Custom Exhaust has all the tools and parts to make your vehicle quiet again. And for you sports car enthusiasts, if you're looking for the roar to be the king of the roads, RS Custom Exhaust can help you too. With free estimates and first-class service, RS Custom Exhaust has your vehicle covered. So stop and see them today, located at 1461 Vera Drive in Hillsdale.
Hello everybody, Brett Boyd from the Market House. Don't miss our new expanded summer hours from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. And don't miss 2 fantastic deals on ground chuck at just $3.99 a pound or Dutch Farms butter at just $2.99. Just 2 great deals and 2 more reasons to come see us at the Market House. Open 8 to 8, 7 days a week. We'll see you there.